sad about it, so sad about it.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Break. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill, kill.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Check, check. You jet bomber. You jet bomber. Patch it. Hit it.
Now a handoff looking right. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check it back, check it back. Hey.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
You're not ready. Hey, box truck. Chopper.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Set. 10-2 soft.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 27-yard line. Here we go. Set. 18 Gator.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the 1st quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning, they got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And here's Allen throwing again. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
An 11-yard loss on the play brings up 3rd down.
Round 80.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
You got 3. Got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Round 80. Check 55. Mike. Rip right. Rip right.
On play action, Allen. Looking for Campbell downfield. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going deep downfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Right back to him on first down. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
Now they try the right side here. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 41-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
6-6, pull it high.
Now a handoff looking right. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Alpha.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Man out, man out, man out, man out.
Ready.
They'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Silver. Bang, 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 bang.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Go. He's checking. Crash.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Ready? 30 base. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Back. Pilot, 64, weak. 24, check 24. Get it.
Now back to throw. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will it be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And an alley to run. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return as his guys are back within a single score. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go!
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Five.
Double up. He's coming, double up.
Tight dog. Hit it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's go one more. 58's the money. 58's the go.
They're going to look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Set, ready? 15-1. 15-1. Hey, Delta. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Five.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Looking to throw on second down. Allen. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And that play is blown up. Losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And down he'll go at the 25. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the run! Watch the run! Watch the run!
They run with Hines. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything. But in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
And maybe get him the ball out of the passing game. A swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Check 43.
Check 15. Check 15.
2nd and 4. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Looking to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 40. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
He can't hang.
From midfield, here's Allen. He's going to float this over the... This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Seibert on for the PAT. And the lead is down to a field goal now. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Hey,
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each ending in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack? Or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Allen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ben Banigou with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Here's Allen. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Let's make these babies cry.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Here we go, here we go. 8, read. Recon, 132 fighter. 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Ready, ready.
5. You.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10.
61, matchbox lights.
Set.
And they give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a second and 13. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So everything rests now on the right foot of Austin Seibert. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So everything rests now on the right foot of Austin Seibert. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now.
Give me that
7 yards there and a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Hines. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Mike 5-4.
And watch that. And watch the ball.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. From the gun, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
At the 18-yard line.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep it. West. Switch. 2.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On the double.
Go 50 extra money. Get ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over above 50 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And a give this time to the tailback. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a first down.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together, and I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely, that would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
2nd and 9 at the 46-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check. 6-6, pull it high. Slam.
58's the money.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
And play will be stopped here with 10 seconds. Remaining in overtime as they've called a timeout. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And play will be stopped here with 10 seconds remaining in overtime as they've called a timeout. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
58's Mike. 58's Mike. Here it goes. 58's the Mike.
Protein spill. Stay with it. Now.
He'll look to throw. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game. where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Steelers, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.